If it is a struggle, do you have any modifications planned to make life easier, such as a stair or small wheelchair lift? At our old house, Narquise could not get up and down the stairs on his own because they were very slippery. However, at our new house, they are carpeted, and he does surprisingly well getting up and down the stairs. Of course, I supervise him. Of course, I stand behind him just to make sure he's okay. But as far as personal, like it being physically trying on me, it's not, because he gets up and down on his own. So it's not an issue right now. The only issue that we may have in the future as he gets a little heavier is getting him in and out the front door, because we have like a ton of stairs outside and they can be very slippery and hazardous when it's wet. So that does need to be addressed shortly. Let's see, this is from Maria. If you could have one day without your kids, husband, what kind of stuff would you plan? And you can't stay home and clean. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You know me well. I don't know, honestly. Before I had, gosh, what did I do before I had kids? Before I was married and had kids, I really loved the theater. I would love going to art museums and that kind of thing. So probably something like that. I'd like to go see a play or a musical or something. Let's see, this is from Crystal. Will Narquise be able to be on his own and drive when he grows up? I don't know. That has yet to be seen. We don't know. As far as driving, probably not. We don't think that he is going to have the physical dexterity to be able to drive, or the proper visuals to be able to drive. So probably no on driving. Living independently, I definitely see that for him someday. Not anytime soon, but someday, yeah, I think he will. I truly think he will. I have another one from Maria. Let's see. Do you think you will soon be doing a video about you being adopted? Yes, I am an adopted child, for those of you who do not know. And I actually have, it's a very personal and very important story to me, and that's the only reason I have not done it yet. I wanted to wait till my editing skills were a little bit better, because I really wanted to make that video good, because it is kind of a crazy story, but adoption literally saved my life. And I've told a few of you the story via Facebook when you have asked, but yes, I will definitely be doing a video about that. It is written down in my notebook, and it's going to get done. Let's see. This is from Jessica. Any advice for someone who would like to adopt in the future? How did you guys choose Ukraine besides the documentaries? Oh God. Well, like I said, we hosted some Ukrainian orphans. Advice for someone who wanted to adopt in the future. Just follow your heart. Just listen to what the Lord is telling you. You may be called to adopt domestically or internationally, an older child, a younger child, special needs, non-special needs. There is no right or wrong when it comes to adoption, because every child deserves a family. So I would just say follow your heart and just jump in and have faith, because it will all work out, even though it seems scary and daunting at first to look at all of the things that you have to do. And let's see, what is your outlet that you enjoy? Do the kids have an outlet they enjoy doing? YouTube. That's my outlet. I love doing YouTube. I love the daily vlogs. I love talking to you guys. I love interacting with you guys. That's kind of my outlet. That's how I get out a lot of like pent up energy. On days when I don't really, I don't have anyone to talk to, I'll turn on the camera and I'll talk to you guys, because you guys are just awesome. And the kids, oh gosh, the kids like anything. Making tents and forts and playing outside, jumping on the trampoline, running around the neighborhood on their bicycles, watching movies. I mean, they have a ton of outlets that they love. Let's see, this is from Sherry. Would you put Narquise and Aiden in a special needs summer camp during the day if you had one in the city you live in? I would eventually, probably not this summer. I would want them to be a little bit more stable and, used to everything. But yeah, sure, eventually I would love to do that for them. I think they would really enjoy that. This is from Sonia. Do the boys have any opportunity to go to a swimming pool? Maybe with their school, swimming would be great for them if they need someone in the water to help them. Oh yeah, we do swimming all the time. especially last summer, Aiden loves swimming, you guys. He shocked me when we went camping last summer. We had on his little life vest and he would just dive under the water and he would just swim under the water. That kid he loves the water. Narquise does not like the water. He does not like it. No, you don't. He's over there. He's listening to me talk. He's like, yes. He likes it if it's not cold. I'll say that. He did enjoy it when the pool was heated. But yeah, we definitely do swimming with them quite often, and we're going to do it again this summer. So that is definitely something that they get to do and that they need to do. That's very, very good therapy for them. Let's see, this is from Nikki. I've been wondering this for a little while. On some of the older adoption posts, Narquise's name is listed as Naveed. Why is that? So they are from a website known as Reese's Rainbow. You can Google it. Reese's Rainbow is an adoption advocacy group. They help with raising funds. They're not an adoption agency. If that was confusing for any of you, they are not an adoption agency. They are an advocacy group that facilitate in adoptions. But when a child is listed on Reese's Rainbow, they have to be given an alias. So they're not given their real name. That is for privacy reasons. That is just for their own personal reasons. That's just for the child's safety in general. You never ever list a child's real name. So whoever requested that child be listed gets to choose a name. Or every now and then Reese's Rainbow will come on the Facebook group and they will ask, hey, we have a little girl age 6 or 7. Let's hear some names, and then people will suggest names and then one is chosen. So that is how they get their names, and his Reese's Rainbow name was Naveed, and Aiden's Reese's Rainbow name was Aiden, so we kept his Reese's Rainbow name, but we did change Narquise's, so that is why you heard it as Naveed and not as Narquise, because at that time we didn't know what his real name was, honestly. This next question is from Abby. Will your husband or whoever is going to be watching the 3 kids make videos when you're in Texas? Wow, this is a little after the fact. I'm sorry. Obviously no. The answer is no. However, my husband does, and I do have a bit of agreement. My husband is not in the vlogs a lot just because he works, he's in school, he's just so busy. But he said when I hit 5,000 subscribers, he's gonna start participating actively in the daily vlogs. So look forward to that when we hit 5,000. Let's see. Caroline asks, is Narquise keeping in touch with his Ukrainian friends? Sadly, not really. I mean, a little bit. We show him videos and such, and we know a few moms who have adopted other children from his orphanage since he has been adopted, and we Skype with them occasionally. But honestly, I don't think it's something he wants to remember. He does not actively say, like, I want to talk to this person or anything like that. So, not really. Let's see. Oh no! Ooh. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm so sorry. Ludisbell? That's a pretty name if I could say it correctly. I'm so sorry. Let's see. It says, I live in Texas. Would y'all do a meet and greet? I'm so sorry. Seriously though, we would not have had time to do a meet and greet, and I really wanted to do a meet and greet because I had quite a few of you say, oh, I live in Austin, or I live in Round Rock, which is right by Austin. Can we do a meet and greet? I'm sorry y'all. I didn't have time when I was in Texas, but eventually I will be doing a meet and greet somewhere, so it's gonna happen. It'll happen one day. Let's see. Veronica asks, what does school look like for both boys? Are they in exclusive classrooms? Yes, they are both in special education classrooms. It is a separate classroom from the rest of the school. However, they are integrated with the typically developing students as much as possible. But they do have that isolated type of setting, which is great for them because they get the one-on-one help they need. Everything is set up for their needs. And they kind of get... My husband is calling me. You have bad timing. What? Sorry, my husband called me. Let's see, what was I talking about? Yes, anyway, they do have specialized classrooms and they are catered to their individual needs. So like Narquise cognitively is around the age of 3 or 4. So they work with him on learning his colors and writing and holding a pencil properly and just all that kind of stuff, and he gets a ton of physical therapy because that is so important for him. Let's see, this is from Lee. I missed a question. This is from Veronica. No, I just answered that. I'm sorry, Veronica, I just answered yours. This is from Leah. I've been wondering, was Aiden's autism caused by a direct result of his institutionalization? Sorry if you've already answered this. So when I say that Aiden has a very unique type of autism, that's what I mean. He was not born with autism. His only diagnosis at birth was blindness. That was it. There was nothing else physically wrong with him. And even in the first couple years of his life, he developed fairly normally. He was even saying a few words by the age of 3. However, as time progressed and he eventually got transferred to the mental institution from the baby house where he was kept as a young child, the neglect and abuse set in and took its toll on him mentally and emotionally, and it has very much delayed a lot of his development, which is why he's so tiny, just from lack of nutrition. He was basically left by himself. A child cannot survive in a vacuum. If you're never talked to, you're never held, you're never loved on, you're not going to develop speech. You're not going to continue to develop that. And that's what happened to Aiden. He just never developed speech, and he actually did not even learn to walk until the age of 5. And that was only because a missionary went in to assist him with that. So it is definitely, his current autism is it's classified as institutionalized autism. It is an autism that he was not born with, but is a direct result of his early life. But it is just as severe. Don't like mistake it. It's just as severe as the normal autism spectrum. It's crazy, y'all. Our front door will just randomly open. It is the creepiest thing ever. Anyway, he has, yes, he does have institutionalized autism. I'm sorry if I'm not picking up where I left off. That kind of disturbed me a little bit. But it's on the same level as all the other standard autism. I'm sorry, I don't know a ton about it. I just know a ton about his institutionalized autism because that's what he has and that's what I deal with on a daily basis. But it is not something that doctors anticipate going away. It's not like it's something that's curable. Once it's ingrained in you, it's kind of just always there. We don't know though. Maybe he can pull out of it someday. Let's see. My goodness, I'm so sorry. Let's see, this is from Carissa. Will you get a walker for Narquise like he uses in PT? And do the boys go to the same school? We have a walker actually, and he uses it probably once a day at least. I need to film him on his walker. It's so hard for me to film when I'm doing his walker because it requires all of me. Like I have to be like standing there right there with him and encouraging him along, and I just don't pick up the camera. But we do have a walker. He does use it. And yes, the boys do go to separate schools. All of my kids are in different schools, which is a little bit difficult on mama, but that's okay. Let's see, this is from Haley. How have you observed your girls to adjusting to their brothers with slight jealousy or behavior change? As of right now, their jealousy and behavior change is all typical sibling-like behavior. But initially it was a lot of one-on-one time, a lot of encouragement, a lot of patience. It's still a lot of patience, they fight and get jealous, and I think that's totally normal and it's healthy. And I feel glad that my girls can express when they do have jealousy or feelings of resentment towards their brothers, and they will come to me and they'll talk to me about that. And we can help to work through that. Let's see, Jury asks, why do the boys go to different schools? Just because they're different ages. Narquise is 11 and Aiden is 8, and because of their ages, Narquise is up in the upper elementary while Aiden is still in the lower elementary. So, and plus it's based on their needs because one school is more specialized in this need and the other school is more specialized in this need. So it just worked out better that they attend separate schools. Let's see, this is from Karen. Do the boys have friends at school? How long did the boys got home until they got, how long were the boys home before they got in school? I think there's a typo in there. They have a few friends at schools. Narquise has a lot of friends. Aiden, I don't think so. He's very enclosed into himself and he doesn't branch out a lot. But Aiden's school is working on him saying hello when he enters a room, like he'll like a wave or something of that nature. And Narquise does have a lot of friends. He's got quite a few. He comes home from school and he'll name all his friends and he'll tell me what he did at school that day. And I'm very, I communicate very well with both of their teachers, and they'll text me during the day or send me pictures and let me know how they're doing. And the boys were home only 2 months. 2 months before they started school. We thought about leaving them home longer, but honestly, we just wanted to jump into it. They were already so behind. Narquise is 11 and he's never had any type of formal education. We didn't want to delay that anymore, and we didn't see a need to delay that anymore. And it was comforting to them to go back to school because all of a sudden they were back around children, and it made the adjustment to family life a little bit easier for them, because they didn't feel like they were just thrown into this family and being isolated because they were so used to being around other kids. Let's see, this is from Emily. How did you decide to adopt as a couple? What helped put your husband on board? I would love to adopt one day, but I would need the full support of my husband, obviously. Was money a concern? How did you know it was time? Okay. I gotta set my phone down for this one. Okay, so money is definitely always a concern when you're adopting, specifically internationally. The boys' adoption cost an upward between $25,000 and $30,000. It was a lot of money, and that's not even including the upfront expenses of the home study and getting all the paperwork and paying attorneys to sign this and that. That's not including any of that. So probably it was closer to about $32,000 as a total to bring them home. My husband was not on board at first. He said no, and he said no loudly and often. And I pestered him and I bugged him and I annoyed him so much, and he kept saying no. And eventually it was like, it just clicked in my head. I was like, I need to stop. I need to back off, because I didn't want to adopt if he wasn't on board, if he was not okay with it. If he did not feel that the Lord was calling him to adopt, I didn't want to do it. And that's not how it should be. So I laid off. I stopped asking him, and I just prayed about it. I just prayed. And eventually in time, God did speak to his heart, and God did tell him yes. And he was on board, and maybe even more so on board than I was at that point. So it was just a huge blessing in that respect. In terms of money, it's scary. It's scary. It's scary to adopt and see that huge amount of finances. And if you don't have this certain amount in by this date, then everything is just, you can't go forward. However, through the help of Reese's Rainbow and the kindness and generosity of others and a lot of prayer, we raised all $32,000. We raised it all. It was all raised through fundraising, through bake sales, through car washes, through a GoFundMe account, through little auctions that we did online. It was a lot of work, but it is possible to raise all of that money, and God is amazing. And there were times that we had to send off this paperwork on this day, and the day before we didn't have any money to send it. And that night, all of a sudden that money would pour in, and we would be able to send off all of our stuff. So God always provided, even in the moments when it seemed as though he was not going to, when it seemed like it wasn't going to work out, he provided, and it all worked out. And I'm just still in awe looking back on it. And I know that if ever we are called again, then he will provide again, just as he did before. And how do you know when it's the right time? God will let you know. I always describe the desire to adopt as a small, silent pull in your heart, a desire that does not go away, a persistent want and need to go forward with adoption. And God puts that desire in your heart. God knows your heart better than anybody else, and you'll know when it's time. Like right now, I know that we're going to adopt again someday, but I don't feel God saying go right now. I don't feel that urge to just jump right into it, but it's just a faith-based thing for me. You know, when it's time, you just know, and you just jump in on faith. And you know what? If it's God's will, then it's God's bill, and he's going to take care of everything. Let's see. Leah, are you doing another day in the life? You know, I kind of do daily vlogs, so I feel like every day is a day in the life for me. But I think you mean like a day in the life, like wake up, eat breakfast, brush my teeth, feed kids. I think you mean that type of day in the life. Those are really hard for me to do, but I do need to do them because I get a lot of requests for those. So yes, at some point, yes, I will do a detailed day in the life. Let's see, Miracle asks, why is Aiden super clingy to you all the time? I think just because he knows me, he's grown to trust me, and he's attached to me specifically. I feed him, I change him, I clothe him, I take care of him. I'm his main caregiver, and he's very trusting with me, more so than anyone else. And I really think that's the only reason. Mallory, can Aiden see anything? No, doctors tell me that he is completely blind and does not even have any light perception. We've had 2 doctors say that, and we've had a 3rd doctor say that he possibly has light perception. So we don't really know, but we think no. Let's see. Donna asked, do you think the boys suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder? And do you plan to potty train Aiden? Yeah, I think Narquise definitely suffers from it, and I think Aiden does too. He just can't communicate his fears or his worries as Narquise can. But yeah, we definitely see that institutionalized behavior come out, and they'll be violent and upset and angry, and Narquise can really, when he first came home specifically, he would pinch and hit and bite, and it doesn't seem like, looking at him now, that he would have ever done anything like that. But that's just trauma. That is pure trauma. And we were in the trenches with that for about a year, but it is getting better now. And do we plan on potty training Aiden? Absolutely. We have been working on potty training Aiden, but it's very traumatic for him to potty train. Even being near a toilet, being sat on a toilet, very, very traumatic. In the orphanage, he was left on the potty for up to 6 to 10 hours at a time, or in his high chair. And they just traumatized him in terms of potty training. They wanted him to potty train so badly for their convenience that it just traumatized him. We get him near a potty and he's hitting his head and he's screaming and he's biting and making himself bleed. Like, it's bad. So we haven't been forcing it. We're trying to get him a little bit more comfortable in other areas, get his communication where it needs to be, because until he can communicate to us that he needs to use the bathroom, it's going to kind of be a fruitless effort anyway. So it is something we're working on. It is an ultimate goal. However, we don't want to press it for traumatic reasons. Let's see here. Kayla, are you going to do Aiden's story? Yes, you guys, I'm going to post Aiden's adoption story. I'm sorry it's taking so long for me to post it. It's a good story. I want it to be good. I don't want to throw something together and just for the sake of throwing it together. So I'm taking my time. I'm editing it the way I want to edit it, and I'm making it really good and impactful. And just trust me, when it's posted, it'll be good. And that's gonna happen soon, I hope. I'm not saying any dates or anything. Hey, girl. Let's see. Oh, I'm nearing the end. I have 2 more. Let's see. Joanne asked, do you go to a support group or meet up with other parents with additional needs? When the boys first came home, we were with an adoption group. We were with an adoption group at our church, but we have since switched churches and we haven't really gotten into a group yet. But I'm on some online groups and, we talk, but it's not as hard as it was when they first came home. I don't feel like the constant need to communicate with other parents who have adopted special needs is there. I definitely want advice and opinions and whatever. What are you doing? But no, not really. I mean, we definitely talk and are open though. And do your children enjoy going to school? She's squeezing my stomach. Yes, they absolutely enjoy going to school. Narquise loves school and he loves his teacher. His teacher actually just texted me in the middle of this video and was like, I miss Narquise. I love him. How is he doing? So yes, they are definitely beloved by their teachers. Yes, my dear.
I go to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do you want to tell him? Piper got into pre-K. Yay! She was accepted into pre-K this morning, so we're super excited. She got into a class. Anyway, that is all the questions that were asked via my Facebook. If you asked a question on a video, I missed 2. I'm so sorry. I missed 2 questions. What does your tattoo say? My tattoo says, praise him, y'all. I love tattoos. I love tattoos. Unfortunately, this is the only one I have. I'll get more eventually, but I'm the type of person I have to think about it for a long time before I commit, because that's forever. That is forever. Oop, I dropped my phone. But yes, I do have a tattoo and it says praise him, and I don't regret it. I love it every single day. And that's what a tattoo should be. It should be something you look at on a daily basis and love every single day. I don't like the cheesy cartoon characters, or I don't want to look at like Mickey Mouse on my arm for the rest of my life. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion. And the last one was one that was already answered. Okay, so these were just the questions that were asked via my Facebook page. If you guys are not aware, I do have a Facebook page. It is Truly Blessed with 4 littles. Just type it in the search engine on Facebook, and you should be able to find it. The same with Instagram. We are also on Instagram, but specifically if you're not on my Facebook, you need to go request friendship over there on my Facebook, because honestly, specifically recently, I've been doing a lot more updates on my YouTube account than I have on my personal account. I am no longer accepting personal friend requests on my personal Facebook account, just because it was getting a little bit crazy with personal family and friends being like bombarded with people that they didn't necessarily know. But I do update frequently on my Facebook, so you guys should go over there and join us, because I post a lot of fun pictures that you guys don't normally see, and I post real-time updates and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions that I possibly did not cover, please ask them below, and I will make a note and make another Q&A or a follow-up to this Q&A. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye guys.
Bye-bye.